There are so many insects already in the world. Millions and billions and trillions probably of insects. In fact, 400 to 800 million tons of insects and other pests alone are eaten by spiders. Spiders consume at least 72.5 billion mosquitoes every single year, and that's just one type of insect. Insects are some of the greatest and worst things for humans. In some ways, they help us, such as by pollinating flowers and producing honey for us. In other ways, they're absolutely terrible. Mosquitoes, for example, are the deadliest creature in the world, causing millions of cases of malaria every single year. Thankfully, that's on the decline, but they have historically been known to spread all kinds of disease. Some people think that there are already a large number of insects in the world, but what would happen to the world if insect populations tripled? Well, the effects would be disastrous. First, farming. Insects would eat through crops, destroying land and making food much more scarce. Countries not equipped to deal with the problem would struggle with fighting off the insects and likely begin to start starving and have civil unrest. This would happen to a lot of countries, particularly near the equator, such as really poor rural African countries which don't have the technology to fight off the insects, and so they would have all kinds of insects eating their farmland, destroying their crops, and it would just be a complete mess. It would affect us directly by contaminating our food supply as well. The next big thing that would happen is disease. Most animals and humans would be bit by more mosquitoes, approximately 3 times more, so the incidence of disease spread by these insects would go up greatly. More people would die. More people would be stung by bees and bit by other insects as well, such as spiders and other insects which can spread poison and ultimately harm us. Almost 1 million cases of malaria per year are fatal, and if insect populations tripled, I think it's safe to say that these cases could potentially triple. So we would see a huge spike in blood transmitted disease, specifically through mosquitoes. So this would just be absolutely terrible for us. Finally, there would be a huge problem with pest infestation. Homes, apartments, and public buildings would face massive infestation problems as all of these new insects look for a place to call home. Last year, I was personally attacked by over 30 wasps inside of an apartment, but now we'd see a lot more of this. Pest infestation would damage people's homes and lead to an increased spread of disease and general annoyance. But as we discussed earlier in the farming and disease contamination section, a lot of our crops would be damaged. A lot of people underestimate just how powerful the insects are. While they are small, there are millions and billions and trillions of them, and so if their populations were to triple, likely we would experience so much contamination and damage that literally we humans would be starting to starve and have our own problems, so much so to the point that some governments could even collapse, specifically in rural African countries where they're not equipped to deal with the problem, and so people such as, they go crazy and they start fighting each other. So that's what we think would happen if pest populations tripled by all insects. What would you think would happen if insect populations tripled? Let us know in the comments section or send us an email. Let us know what you think. But if you do have a pest problem yourself, there are still quite a few insects out and about. So give us a call at 855-WILDLIFE or visit www.wildlifexteam.com. We can get rid of the pests for you and make sure they never come back. We don't like pests, so hopefully we can get rid of them for you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.